Hi, welcome to another episode of What's That All About? So this one's kind of fun because I picked out some what are technically called forbidden locations. Now, I don't like to be told that I can't do something. And normally that would mean all I want to do is go either do what I was told I can't do or at least find out more about it and find out why I can't do it. So, anyway, these are forbidden places. Forbidden. There is one on this list that I got to admit, I am dying to go to. But anyway, the other ones, absolutely not. And I mean, these places, some of them literally could kill you. So, just don't go see your travel agent about these. But I mean, who doesn't like to be scared or like intrigued? So if you're at home and you're in the safety of your place and like your walls, and you're watching a story that isn't true, or even if it is based on true events or something, you still can like turn it off or look away or walk in the other room or whatever. But if like you're somewhere and you're physically in a place that possesses these kinds of legends and myths, and actually they're not really myths because they're actual reality. So these places are the real deal, no urban legends attached. This is all true. And I think it just being, if you could ever actually physically be there, I just think it would change things. And I do think that the decision would be made differently. And I think just like me, I kind of went, yeah, I'm pretty cool with skipping these. But anyway, I digress into other places sometimes. All right. Okay. Whoo, baby. Have you heard of the movie Snakes on a Plane? I have heard of it because there's not much that Samuel Jackson does that I don't know about, because he's my Nick Fury, he's my Marvel. I love him so much. But how about Snake Island, Brazil? Yeah, a whole island full of snakes. So the name alone pretty much denotes a no-go for me, and probably for you too. And it's definitely not built for relaxation, because this is the home to a dense population of one of the world's deadliest snakes, okay? The golden lancehead viper. Here we go. If it bites you, it is said that the skin around the bite actually melts away. Let's take the oh my fucking god out of that. Like, let's just take the holy shit part of that and go right to flesh melting off your skin because of a snake bite. No. So that's a nope. Hard pass, obviously. And then there's researchers that have to go to this island for whatever freaking purposes, and a doctor always has to go with them. Yeah. Whenever you pull the short straw for that, oh my God, it's considered a very bad day. All right. Now, I know you've probably heard of this already because I have mentioned it before. I actually mentioned it in the Mothman episode, but Chernobyl. All right, Chernobyl, Ukraine, on April 26, 1986, the explosion near Chernobyl, which was actually the Soviet Union at the time of the explosion. It became the worst nuclear accident in history, and the death count caused by the radiation is impossible to know exactly, but experts estimate between 9,000 and 1 million people will die due to the radiation and the cancer that they will succumb to. Oh. Anyway, more than 30 years since the explosion, they're still doing cleanups, like all the time, nonstop, round the clock. And it is said by the director of the power plant, which I can't. Where's his office? Because you wouldn't get me anywhere near it. But he said it wouldn't even be habitable. You couldn't even live there for at least another 20,000 years. And I'm sorry, but hopefully in 20,000 years there's another planet that people are going to be on, because even after 20,000 years, the real estate is not going to be hot for that place. I'm just saying, oh my God, nope, nope, nope. So there's also a place in the Bay of Bengal called North Sentinel Island. This is where, honestly, if you have supersonic enemies, this is where you'd want to send them. The Sentinelese tribe of the island is thought to have been there more than 60,000 years. Now, it's also believed that this is one of the last, because there's tribes in the Amazon too, but this is one of the last communities where they have had no contact whatsoever with the outside world. None. In 2006, two fishermen inadvertently, accidentally drifted into the shallows of the island, and tribesmen came out and killed them. Just like that. No joke, people. No joke. So since then, there have also been reports of the tribe shooting arrows. As you can see, I put it whichever side I put it up on, of helicopters going overhead to try and get pictures of them and stuff. They shoot their arrows at them. Yep. Now, since the tribesmen haven't had any contact with outsiders, they are so susceptible to any of the diseases that we've already built up an immunity to, like, for example, the flu or something. I mean, what doesn't really hurt us, but it would devastate them. It could kill them and wipe them out. So the Indian government has agreed not to attempt any contact with them. Trippy, right? Yeah, you don't want to go there, but there's a couple people I could figure out that give them a one-way ticket. All right. Now, you'll remember this one, Vatican Archives. I just did the episode not too long ago, but the only reason why I kept it on this list is because I found out a couple of new things that I thought was pretty cool. The actual documents, okay, 53 miles of shelves. I had no clue that it was that, like, astronomically enormous and saturated with documents for 53 miles worth of shelving with documents, all pertaining mostly anyway to the Catholic Church. I mean, goes back to as far as the 8th century. Shit, that is a lot. So anyway, this shocking fact that I thought was pretty, I mean, I've heard of this person, so I was a little shocked. They have the official document for the excommunication of Martin Luther. Now, I didn't know about that before, so there you go. Now, the archives were opened to researchers in 1881, but you've got to it's like you got to pass a lot of tests, and you have to show what you're going to be doing there. And when you are allowed to go in, only 3 months. You get 3 months to do whatever you need to do from soup to nuts, and then you're done. And it's not like you can re-up kind of thing. Like, that's it. You get 3 months and that's it. And they only allow 60 scholars in at a time. Now imagine, you have 53 miles of information and shelving, yet only 60 people, plus the staffing, I'm sure, who's down there always monitoring, are allowed at a time. It's definitely not overcrowded at any point. So, okay, this next one is my favorite. It's the last one. I want to go here so bad, but for obvious reasons, I'm going to skip it. Okay, it's called Fort Knox. Obviously, you've heard of Fort Knox, okay? Fort Knox is in Kentucky. Now, the proper name for it is the United States Bullion Depository. Now, this vault, which is home to the United States Gold Reserve, has also been deemed to be the most heavily guarded place on Earth. And if it's not the most protected, it's one of the most protected places on Earth, people. Earth's big. And this place in Kentucky gets one of the honors of being one of the most guarded. And now I'm going to tell you why. No single person, staff member, employee, whatever, can get into the vault. Not one person. You'll never, ever, ever be able to be into the vault alone. Several combinations need to be entered to gain access, and various staff members know only one. So when you're hired and you've already cleared like all the obstacles of having the security clearance, you only get one of the multiple combinations of what need, and they change all the time. So you never know which like four of the like people who also have codes or whatever to get in. You never know which ones are in active for that day. So even though you need help from other staff members, it wouldn't do you any good. Getting weird. I love it though. It's also rumored that the vault grounds are surrounded by landmines and electric fences. Plus, if you trip a laser that goes across the property, machine guns go off. Oh my crap. All right. Now, if anything were to happen, the site also shares its home with 40,000 soldiers, family, and members of the civilian squad employees. And they live at Fort Knox Army Post. But it's also got its own emergency power plant. It's got its own water source. It's basically all self-contained if need be, if something were to happen. I mean, this place sounds so sexy James Bondy or like Jason Bourne-ish. Like it seems like this place should be in every spy movie ever made somehow. But anyway, a couple of the honorable mentions were like Area 51. I have crushed on that. I didn't want to bring it up. And then also that seed vault, the Svalbard sea vault. I've already did an episode on that. Didn't want to bore you with that. So those are my picks for the most forbidden places. I'm sorry, but Fort Knox, doesn't that sound awesome? Oh, but anyhow, I hope you are staying happy and healthy. Stay weird. Until next time, take care. Bye.